Auntie Jo here with Auntie Jo Sews. So yesterday I got a message asking how I made my file folders for my junk journals. So sometimes I make them from files, sometimes I use cereal boxes, sometimes I use chipboard, whatever I happen to be thinking about at the time is what I usually use. So I'm going to show you super quick how I make them. It's really easy. I just take a long file folder and I cut it down to, this is actually 10 inches long. That's the only cut that I make on the folder. I then do my first score at 6.5 inches, and that's going to fold over and be flat. And then if you'd like to be flat, you could do a 7-inch score, but I like to have it fold over so it's going to look like this. So I'm going to take, once it's sewn in, because I sew them in, this is going to be flat, and then this is going to be a nice little tuck so it's sort of closed up. In order to do that, you want to have your next score at 6.5 and 7 inches. And that's going to be, for the flip, is going to be from your first inside score that comes with the folder. You know how you have the folders, and the more you put in them, these expand. So the only score lines that I make is this one, 6.5, whoops, let me put this up here, 6.5 inches from this score line, or 6.5 inches from this score line, and then 7 inches from this score line. Will give you a nice wrapped up page. So the next thing I do is I take the stain, and right here I'm using Jim Holtz, and I believe this is rose sponge sugar. So I take that, and it's the dauber kind, and just go, let me move the paper here, go all the way around the edges. Real crazy with that, to give it just a little bit of a look that I want, where it's not just that plain manila folder. So when I was a kid, we would say vanilla folders, being silly. So I do that, and then so I'm not real super sure where I'm going to put the magazines. I always do here too, just in case. I don't want it to have any spots that are open. So in here, that's because your signature is going to be sewn right in here. And then also don't forget this side. And then sometimes I'll use a different color on the outside, a different stain. But today I'm just going to do the same stain, both sides, make it really simple. And I do the same thing, even the folds. Get it? Because you don't know where things are going to end up, how it's going to look. So you want to make sure that all of your spots where you may have original folders showing through are going to be covered as well. You don't want it to look funny. So, all right, let's get the spine there. And it kind of gives a little pretty cool look. So anyway, so that's the rose, or I'm sorry, sponge sugar. I don't know why I keep calling it rose. That's all I need for that. And then what I like to use I have two magazines. Actually, I have a ton of them, but this one and this one I think is really cute. I think it's going to go well with the sponge sugar. So what I'm going to do is like this. I'm just going to take this, pull that out. Let's see what else I can find real quick to make sure I'm going to be complimentary in my colors. I don't want to have something that isn't going to match anything else. So I'm going to look for another sheet with red ink, and I believe this it's Women's Household Magazine, and I believe this is 1969. Yeah, because the new calendars come in 1970. And here's some more reds. Oh, more red here. It's a pretty cool magazine. Actually, I went through and I read some of the things, and it's just sort of like Facebook. It had like people wanting to talk about this and talk about that. It was pretty crazy. I guess it's like early Facebook for our grandparents. So now I'm going to take my glue, and I use the original tacky glue because it's fabulous. And let's make sure I've got it right here so I know which one I'm doing. And I've got it backwards here, Joe, hang on. I think I want to do the cover first. So I like the lady, so I think I'm going to do the lady first. And I'm just going to cut off, I'm going to leave a little bit here. I'm going to cut off right about here. And that off, and then we'll see where we're going to fold out here. Okay. So we're going to be right there. Lady's going to be right there, which is just perfect. And we're going to add some stuff over top of it as well. And then we're not going to cut this off. We're just going to fold it all the way around. So we're going to do the glue. And what I like to do, oh, I got a new glue. Hang on. What I like to do is just pour it on. Try not to make too much of a mess. And use my little spatula type thing here. And spread the glue around really, really well, because the last thing you want is it to come off when you're, you know, displaying it or somebody's handling it. You don't want your newspaper and stuff to come off while people are looking at it. So, and we're just gonna, and I like the glue because it gives me a little more time to fiddle around in case I line something up incorrectly, which I just did. So we're gonna try it again here. Just gonna line it up. And again, you can always go back and fix stuff, put stuff in, and this will be covered up and decoupaged across it. And I might just put some washi tape around here. What I'm going to do yet. So anyway, that's that. And then we're going to come around the back and do the same thing. And I don't know, I have made these like these, so I don't know how others are doing them. I've watched people over the years do them, and I kind of just got my own way of doing it. Might be similar to somebody else's. It's not my idea. I'm not claiming my idea. I just like to tweak what I like. So here is going to be the back, and we are going to have a flippy over thing here so that we actually have the signature. This will close around the signature itself. So here we've got the back. And then I might just take a little dollar back here. I might just, since it's the back, just do that. And have it pick up. Let's see here. Oh, that's better. Okay, so I will just have it pick up right here where the spine is going to be. And just go right across. So I know I need to now. And I don't do, as you notice, if you watch me, I don't do a lot of measuring. I don't know why, I just don't. So I'm just going to eyeball it and cut here. But I am a big believer in not cutting off a whole lot at once. I always like to go back and trim and go back and trim and go back and trim, because you can cut stuff off, but you can't add the stuff. So like I see I'm off a little bit. So, but I know I can just cut that and fix it later, which is a big, a big motto of mine is fix it later. Or, you know, let's get it done and see how we're going to work it out later on. So, that's going to be the whole shebang right there. And again, same thing, same process. Lots of glue. Lots of glue. There we go. There's my little doohickey thing. Here it is. And we're going to spread the glue around really well so that everything's really, really covered. There we go. There we go. Everything's going to be covered really well. And then we'll line it up. And that's going to be that right there for now. So it's going to be like that. And then we're going to make sure we have it stretched out so that we have enough for our signature to fit in. And we do. We have enough. We're going to keep conscious of these folds to make sure that we don't end up losing our fold, because that would not be good. So there we go. So right now we can see, yep, we are right where we should be. And now we're going to do the inside. And basically, I'm going to do the same process. And I think I'm going to glue this down. And so first I'm going to put this on. and then I'll glue this on top. And you're going to want to save your little pieces too, because those can be fill-in pieces that you can use to cover up other spots. There we go. And again, the main thing is you just want to be really super duper conscious of where your folds are. If you lose your fold and your score line, you're going to have a problem trying to fold it up to put your signature in. So let's see. I have other little rubber thingies too. I just need to find them. With all the pandemic stuff going on, I've been cleaning, and now I've put stuff where I don't remember where I put the stuff, and you know how it is. So, all right, there's that sheet, or that glue is ready for the sheet. And there we go. It's down, and then I'm going to glue this down totally. I don't need this to be a pocket or anything like that. It's not going to be a pocket. So we're just going to go like this. There we go. Glue that down. So that's glued down. And then we need to, again, make sure we're being real conscious of the score lines, or you'll lose them. That'll be very bad, not real conducive to you having a place to put your signature. And then we're going to come back over here. And let's see what you want to do here. Let's do like that, so we still have a little bit of the lady and some of the red ink. So I really like that ink, and you can see it's starting to pick up color from the spun sugar color that we used. Trimming it here. There we go. And I'm going to do it like that. I think I'm going to do it like that instead. So we'll go over top, and we're going to be real cognizant of the score lines when we glue this down. So here we go. So I think that's going to be actually perfect. And oopsie-daisy. And, but first let's make sure we get this down. Even though we're going over top of it, let's just make sure we get that down. And then we're going to do the glue. Make sure we get it everywhere. And then when we put it on, we're going to start from the outside and put it on to make sure we have it right. And then the next step is just going to be the decoupage, which is going to be really simple to do. And then boom, we're done. So I think this whole thing will probably take, and I haven't slowed down or done anything with the video, probably, what are we at? Yeah, about, oh no, see, oh, do we want to do this one? I think we're going to do this one instead. Then the other side, like that a little better. There we go. And we're going to be real cognizant, like I said, of the score lines, so that we still have the score lines and that we still have our ability to make a flap. And there we go. So we have our score lines intact. We have our score lines here intact. There we go. So here we are. That's what we look like so far. There we go. So I think it looks pretty dang good to start. Only thing we also need to do while that's drying for just a second is we're going to cover this right here. So let's just find, let's use the one with the red. Something maybe with red, if we could find it going down the side. I don't know if we will or not. Looks like we might be out of luck. Let's, oh, little dogs. And you know I'm a pet person. Alright. So we just need it right there. So let's do a little doggy. Like donkey. What was that? What was that? Ah! Oh my gosh. Shrek. Alright. I'll put that little dog there just because he's adorable. And super easy. We're probably going to have to do a little bit of layering, I think. Maybe there. Yep. And then we could just pull that off. And I don't want that to, let's slide him over just a hair here. Yeah, let me do that like that. And then, do we got another dog? We got, I don't know what we got there. Yeah, let's do that. All right. So it doesn't have to be, because this is just your tucked in pocket, so it really doesn't matter. We just want to cover it. All right. And then, just like that. And we can always come back and add stuff. Come back and do things later if you want. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to decoupage it for you so you can see how it's going to turn out. And it'll be done. Actually, I guess I really don't need to decoupage it. You guys know what that is. So, it's a Mod Podge right here. I just take it, shear brush is working, and cover the whole thing, let it dry. I also sometimes put it in the oven because that will give it a little, you know, more antique-y type feel. And that's how I do them. Plus it gives you can use matte or shiny. This is matte. I like the matte finish better. And basically that's how I do my file folder. So you know you would Mod Podge the whole thing, let it dry, flip it over, Mod Podge the whole back, and then you can use either a button if you like. You can use whatever you like to do this flap. I will probably put some bling on this. I like to add bling to my folders, and I just think it's super cool. And you know, if you wanted to, you know, if you like, you know what, I like her better on the front, you could just have it tucked in. Lots of things you can do with making file folders for your junk journals. So, and then here we go, just a final check to make sure it's going to fit. Here's the insert. Boom, put that in there. And then what I'll do is I'll open it up and stitch it through the back, and I will put some sort of jewelry or some sort of bling on there. So anyway, that's how you do it.